is The Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth news. I'm Erika Kristensen. Tonight on The Scorecard. From funeral silence, the Yankees stadium exploded in cheers in Game 4 of the World Series. No Steph, no Wiggins, no problem, said the Golden State Warriors. Azkals make their mark in the Asia 7's tilt. All that and more on The Scorecard tonight, the 30th of October. Now here's our roundup. Faith in the reverse sweep gets more converts at the Yankee Stadium as the New York Yankees rally to an 11-4 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers. At the center of this newfound faith is Filipino-Italia New Yorker Anthony Volpe, whose grand slam in the third inning got the more than 49,000 fans on their feet and in the air. Despite narrowing the gap in the fifth inning, the Dodgers' long reliever Landon Knack gave up another home run, and Brent Honeywell's poor performance in the eighth inning sealed the visitors' fate. Despite the loss, the Dodgers still led the series 3-1 and have 3 more chances to clinch the championship, starting at the Yankee Stadium again tomorrow, 8:08 a.m. Philippine time. Rookie Buddy Hield, promoted to the starting lineup, scored a team high of 28 points, leading the short-handed Golden State Warriors to a 124-106 comeback win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Despite missing Stephen Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and DeAnthony Melton, the Warriors rallied from a 20-point deficit ignited by Hield's 19-point fourth-quarter performance. 36 points came from new starters Brandon Podzinski and Moses Moody. Draymond Green contributed 7 assists and 2 blocks. Today started with the Denver Nuggets once more winning in overtime, 144-139 against the Brooklyn Nets. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 120-114, and the Sacramento Kings overpowering the Utah Jazz 113-96. The NBA fined the Philadelphia 76ers $100,000 for statements by basketball operations president Daryl Morey and head coach Nick Nurse that contradicted Joel Embiid's health status, thereby violating the league's player participation policy. Despite claims of Embiid's readiness, he missed games due to a knee condition. This is Philadelphia's second fine for misleading injury reports, with a prior incident back in April. In NCAA Season 100, Emilio Aguinaldo College lorded over the perimeter and the paint to halt Colegio de San Juan de Letran's march to the next level. And of course, to calmly create chaos in the fight for the last 2 spots of the Final Four with a 68-58 win. The Generals also neutralized Jimboy Estrada on their way to taking over the Knights' 4th-place post in the rankings. Harvey Pagsanyan led EAC with 13 points and 5 assists, helping his team build a significant lead in the third quarter and secure the win. This victory puts the General close to their first ever Final Four appearance since joining the lead 15 years ago. In the second game, Justin Sanchez delivered 2 crucial baskets, helping College of St. Benilde fend off Perpetual Help 61-56 and secure their spot in the Final Four. The Blazers maintained control for most of the game, but of course saw their lead narrow in the final minutes. Sanchez's late-game heroics, including a turnaround floater and a strong drive, ensured the victory. He finished with a team high of 16 points, while Alan Liwa contributed 10 points and 6 rebounds. Perpetual Help's Christian Pagaran and Mark Goho Cruz combined for 33 points, but their efforts weren't enough to overcome the Blazers' defense. Adamson University snapped a 5-game losing streak with a 45-37 defensive win over the University of the East, reviving their UAAP Season 87 Final Four hopes, just as Coach Nas Racela asked his team. AJ Franzman led a key 10-0 run for the soaring Falcons in the fourth quarter, finishing with 14 points. Matt Erolon added 14 points. The win moves Adamson to 5th place with a 4-7 record. UE's Precious Momoe, who got his first field goal midway in the third quarter, was held to 12 points and 17 rebounds. He scored all of the Red Warriors' 5 fourth-quarter points. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 30th of October. When we return, victorious visitors Misagh, Bahadoran, and Coach Hamid, Hajimedi dropped by the Scorecard studios earlier. So watch out for that and more here on the Scorecard. Welcome back to the Scorecard. Today I have the privilege of guesting two amazing players. Of course, we have the co-captain of the Azkals, Misagh Bahadoran, and coach Hamid Hajimedi. Oh, I got it right. Okay, first things first, again, welcome to the Scorecard. It is my honor to have you both guest here. And of course, I feel like, we've gone such a long way from our trip in Malaysia, and now you guys are here. And, we kind of just want to debrief about what happened in Malaysia during our Asia Sevens tournament. So with that said, maybe you guys want to share, how was your experience in Malaysia during the tournament? Misagh, maybe you want to start.
First of all, I would like to say thank you for having us here. Of course, it was an amazing experience, especially for the younger generation who had a chance to show and experience playing in the international level. And it was a very good atmosphere there, a lot of with the senior players, with a good coach. So we brought this joy at the same time, serious game. And then was a fantastic camp, like a training and tournament. I mean, it was a fantastic.
By the way, congratulations, because I know firsthand, since I was there too, that you guys won first runner-up. Coach, I want to ask you, how are you feeling with your team winning the first runner-up?
I really proud of my players and whole team, team manager, my assistant coaches, Even you work very hard there. I saw how you work. So I really proud of them. We did the big things, like what I told you in Malaysia. When we come back to Philippines, I told the players, you will see what you did. Right now, you don't know, still you don't know. So we did the big job for Philippine football. I'm very happy I'm part of that glory.
And how are you feeling, Misagh? After so many years, you're finally donning the Azkals logo again, the Azkals jersey.
Of course, it's an honor to represent Azkals anytime, anywhere, any tournaments, because as you know, Azkals brand been there, Azkals team was been there for a long time, and it creates so much motivation. A lot of kids get motivated because of Azkals to play football right now. The reason that everybody knows that football grown very fast in the Philippines was because of the hard work of the Azkals players, and of course Boston, Palami, and getting all this together, putting so much effort. And not everybody knows that how hard we worked even as a players to get here, that now you see 5 years old, 6 years old playing football in the street, some barefooted, and that's why I'm so honored and I'm so glad that I represent Azkals again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, needless to say, the Azkals was such a nostalgic part of my childhood, Like, when I was growing up, I literally was watching you all, on TV and on the field, and now, it's such an honor to be able to cover for you guys and be with you guys in your latest tournament. But again, I want to ask you, so prior to coming to the tournament, how did you guys prepare for it? So I'm going to ask you both as a coach and you, Misagh, as a player, because I'm sure you guys dealt with it in very different ways, had very different techniques on the preparation coming to the tournament. So as a coach, Coach Hamid, how did you prepare your team?
Honestly, we didn't have good preparation because most of the players who went to Malaysia, they were busy with their teams in PFL.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any good preparation, but I knew we can get good result because all the players who went to Malaysia with us, they are pro player and they have experience. And we mixed them with some legendary player like Misagh, Shroki, Sato. So the mix was okay. We were there with full package. With 2 days training in Malaysia, we did something, we adjust. Not like 100%, 50%.
Yeah.
But after 2 days training, I told Misagh, we have chance even to go to final and champion.
Wow. And what about you, Misagh, as a player? How did you prepare?
Of course, we were born prepared, you know what I mean? So as a football player, as soon as there is a tournament, we switch to a professional football player. So it was good preparation for everybody. It was, of course, there is always challenges, especially football in the Philippines is always we have to expect the challenges. But the good thing is we were born with these challenges, with the Azkals. We know this is coming, but having experienced players, as coach said, it's a big factor to teach the younger generation, younger player, okay, these are not even a problem for you guys, because we've been through wars. So it's just that as soon as you step on the pitch, there's no other excuses. You have to give your 100%, you have to put your heart for the country, and you have to fight as a professional football player. No, there is no excuses for opponent that you cannot explain to them, oh, you don't score against us because of this. So we went there fully prepared mentally, and then of course we had a very good coach. He adjusts the situation right away. He knows what players where to put him, because that's a very important factor. Like, he used me as a defender, so I said, okay, I will play defender, because he knows, he can see I can do that as a defender in 7.
And not a lot of people know that you can defend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why everything went well. Unfortunately, last minute against Japan, we didn't get any. As you watched the game also, you saw it. We should have won that game actually too.
That is right. Like, I still have clips of you guys, like trying to adjust it. I could really see, like, there were a lot of moments actually where you guys really should have won, but again, like, just like any other game and sport, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? If it's not, it's not. But okay, so now that we're talking about this tournament, right? Can you tell me what happened during that really exciting and heart-stopping game between you and Malaysia? Because honestly, out of all the opponents that you guys had during that tournament, it really was Malaysia that, kept me on the edge of my seat. So can you guys just, run through us what happened there, just so our viewers can know?
Okay, I think we had this rivalry between Malaysia and Philippines, that every time it comes to football, and then we were playing in the KL, we were playing in their hometown, and then of course the game was so tight, so close, and everybody was really, whoever win that game would have play another opponent, which is easier, which the loser of that game has to play against the strongest team in the other group. And then also it comes to a little bit, due to the referee and everything, it becomes a little bit personally challenging, which was very exciting. Everybody enjoyed that game.
Very
I think
exciting.
One of the best game of that tournament was Philippines versus Malaysia, and then as you saw, Sato got a little bit emotional, players got another moment, and they get to, sometimes it's not proper way, but it's interesting at the same time.
It is.
But then because it shows that the intensity and with the willing of who wants to win this game, which I really enjoyed the game. Honestly, it was a tough game. It was a close match, and then
it was such a close match, but we ended up winning at the end.
Of course.
And it was, again, we have never beaten Malaysia in any football format up until that game.
Yes.
Right? So when that happened, Coach Hamid, were you proud of your team? What was going through your head?
Definitely, I was so happy. Before the tournament, I knew game against Malaysia is a more difficult game we have. Even against Japan, I was so relaxed. But against Malaysia, because they were host the tournament. They had host the tournament, and they used the Malaysian referee. You were there and you saw how he whistled, But that game was like you play chess, One mistake, it could change the game. But fortunately, they had the mistake, not us. I really proud of my team and the players. For this Azkals team, we went to Malaysia. I saw something different. We were playing like a team, real team. They run for each other. They died for each other. If someone hit Misagh, the other player will hit him back. We were really play as a family,
Yeah.
So I really proud of them, and I'm little unhappy because very easy we lost the final.
Yes, I mean so close yet
because
so
if we used our last chance before we received the goal, if we scored the 2-1, now we were champion. But that's football, we have to learn. in pro, if you have one small mistake, they will punish you.
Yeah, that's true. Now, for everybody watching, if you guys don't understand what Coach Hamid was saying, you guys can definitely watch their games on replay. If I'm not mistaken, it's on YouTube, so at least you guys can, relate to what was happening on the field. But again, jumping over to, okay, let's go to the finals, right? So Philippines versus Japan, where, again, we got a little bit short on that. But I want to ask you both, what do you think the Azkals had that the Japan team didn't? Misagh, maybe you want to start.
For me as a player, I think the heart of Azkals we had that I think Japan team didn't have. So if you see I'm sure you watched the game, you saw some of the players like Grogi throw himself front of the ball.
Yeah.
He throw himself, and then I never saw him like when I was playing in one tagi. So when I was playing in one tagi, I never see Grogi's like this tense. Like he was saying, I'm gonna die for this game. I'm gonna die. I will do one
And he cried after,
yes.
Right? It was the first time he ever cried over a game.
Actually, he cried after the game, and I was seeing myself when I was playing also for Azkals long time ago. Every game, every loss, I cry, and then I was telling them that don't cry now. Cry after the game, because if you don't go to gym, if you don't train yourself better, you don't become better, that's the time you cry, because losing game is normal. Everybody wins, sometimes you lose. You cannot win every single game in your life, but you can learn. So what I saw in that day, I saw real Filipino football players they representing their heart, their blood in that game. They doing 100%. We weren't trained as much as Japan, because Japan was like their national team sevens, real national team seven. They've been playing together, they've been training together, they're representing this same thing to different tournaments. But when they thought they're gonna be easy game, but when they against Philippines, they saw, they had started to get nervous, they got panic. That's why winning for them against Philippines was so like glory, because they were so happy. Even the coach came and the players started to get the jersey of some of the players, and they were like, we didn't expect you guys are this strong and good, because when I just told them that, look, these teams are not even 7 players.
Yeah.
They just started to play 7.
Exactly.
But the way they put their heart is unbelievable. I am so proud of this team, especially younger team, players from Tondo and MJ and all these kids. They put their heart, and hope this attitude and this mentality that fighting for the country, which is called, that's why our name is Azkals. We are representing ourselves, because no matter what, we fight like Azkals.
Yeah.
But I hope this grow in the Philippine football, this mentality grow. So as soon as they said football, it can be for your country, it can be your club. So you have to put that badge in your blood and in your heart.
There should be a bigger why,
yes.
right? Why you're playing the sport. I love that, Misagh. Thank you for sharing. And my last question, Coach Hamid, just very quickly, of course, I know that you played in the World Cup for futsal. You were part of the national team in Iran before. So what is your dream or your vision for Sevens futsal here in the Philippines?
If we want to go to that level, we must have a very good training program. We have to find many talents, because for me, Filipino, originally they have athletic body. We need to put them at the right system, and they can do a lot of things even in the world, So we must have good right and good program. And for example, next year is World Cup. Okay, we have to start from now. We find the players, we invite a lot of players. There is some players, they never play pro, but they are really 7-asset players. We have to, focus at them, and we can mix with some of legendary, and we can get good result for Philippines. Because 7-asset, for me, there is no gap between the Brazil, Iran, we can do something.
Yeah, we can catch up still as Philippines.
Definitely.
All right, that was a very short and insightful conversation. Again, thank you so much, Misagh and Coach Hamid, for joining me here, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. It is time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. NFL fans, get ready for a thrilling matchup. Live from MetLife Stadium, the Houston Texans face off against the New York Jets. Kickoff is set for bright and early Friday, November 1st at 8:15 a.m. Philippine time. The Texans are ranked 7th in both offense and defense, while the Jets fall to 18th offensively but sit at a solid 9th on defense. Houston's ground game has been stead, ranked 15th, but they'll look to exploit New York's defense, which ranks near the bottom and stopping the run at 30th. The Texans, 6-2, are coming off a big win against the Colts, but it came at a price. Star wide receiver Stephon Diggs suffered a season-ending ACL injury, leaving the Texans reliant on a second-year wide receiver Tank Dell, tight end Dalton Schultz, and running back Joe Mixon. With quarterback CJ Stroud performing well, Houston will look to maintain their competitive edge in the AFC. Although they're solid on both sides of the ball, losing a dynamic player like Diggs will undoubtedly challenge their big play ability. Meanwhile, the Jets, 2-6, face a daunting challenge, having lost 5 straight games. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers has been hampered by multiple injuries but insists he's ready to play. With young stars Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson stepping up, the Jets aim to break their streak. However, they need to improve their consistency, especially in stopping the run, which has been a significant weakness this season. New York Jets, this slight edge for the Jets, takes into account their home field advantage despite Houston's recent stronger performances. So, can Houston continue their climb in the AFC despite losing their star wide receiver? Or will the Jets finally capitalize on their home field advantage and snap their losing streak? It's a critical match for sure, up with playoff implications, so don't miss it. We have updates. The UP Fight Maroons completely dominated the Ateneo Blue Eagles, winning 75-47 to complete a season sweep of the UAAP Storied Battle of Katipunan. In the PBA Governor's Cup, all was going well for Barangay Ginebra until Ronde Hollis Jefferson happened for TNT Tropang Giga to take a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 finals. And the Philippine national women's football team, also known as Filipinas, is presently battling Kenya in the Pink Ladies Week friendlies in Antalya, Turkey. Good luck, ladies. Now, before we go, think on this. From NBA great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I try to do the right thing at the right time. They may just be little things, but usually they make the difference between winning and losing. And with that guide to greatness, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sports on Bilyonaryo News Channel. Once again, this is Erika Kristensen. Have a great evening.